We just had a little group sing-along in here, and everybody hold on to your seats because it has been 25 years since that song topped the charts worldwide.
Oh.
And that, of course, paved the way for the Backstreet Boys to become the most successful boy band of all time.
And joining us now is founding member of the group, AJ McLean. Welcome.
Thank you. 25 years. Oh, God. Oh, God.
No, you can't pull that.
No.
Listen, the last time you were here, a lot of things have changed since the last time you were here, but one thing has remained the same. You are still with the Backstreet Boys.
Yep.
You guys are actually on tour celebrating your 30th anniversary. 30 years in this industry. Can you believe that?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, because we still love what we do. We do it for the fans. We do it for each other. And it's a testament to the music. I mean, we've been fortunate enough to have music that has transcended generations. I saw that. I'm like, oh, yeah. I tried to crowd surf, and it did not go as planned. I made it like 3 rows in, and then it just hovered. No, but it is kind of, I still pinch myself, honest to God.
When you think back to the first time that you were on stage with them, could you have ever imagined that it'd be 30 years? That you'd still be doing the same thing with the same guys?
wanted that. You know, Kevin says it best when we're asked, you know, what does the future look like for you guys? He says, we would love to be the Rolling Stones of pop. You know, so, which means at some point, the dancing's gonna have to go over there.
You're sitting on a stool.
We're gonna be sitting, we're gonna be hopefully looking good, but sounding good, but...
Sitting on that stool.
Yeah, you know.
Exactly. Well,
tennis
listen,
balls on the bottom of the cane, you know.
I don't know if a lot of people know this, but when you were putting together Backstreet Boys, you actually considered bringing in a member by the name of Ryan Gosling.
There was a rumor, yes.
There was a rumor. So listen, he hit the stage with all that Kenergy at the Oscars, singing live. Is there still room for some Ken in Backstreet Boys?
I mean, there's always room for some Gosling. It's funny. There's an interview out there with him when he was promoting a movie called Gangster Squad, and this topic came up. We used to live in the same apartment complex.
Wow.
When he was doing the Mickey Mouse Club, was the same time that Backstreet was like just beginning. And I kept talking about the group, and he's like, dude, just shoot the ball. Like, didn't they do that with New Kids? They did that already. That ship has sailed. It's not gonna happen. And then he literally is quoted saying, cut to, I was wrong. And then the journalist started kind of talking smack about us, saying, yeah, aren't those guys doing like Poughkeepsie or whatever? And Ryan's like, whoa. These guys are doing stadiums and all this. Like he like had our back. So thank you, Ryan.
Nice.
So you have said that you've learned how to separate yourself, the artist, from yourself as a person. So can you talk a little bit about that journey of self-discovery?
Yeah, so when we wrapped up the DNA World Tour, which ended May of last year, it took us 4 years to finish the tour because of the pandemic. And we finished up in South Africa. And when I got home, I was like, you know what, I finally have a break. And I was already kind of living on my own. My wife and I, or my now ex-wife, we had just separated. So I had, who knows what the future holds, man. We still love each other to death. And she's my best friend. My best friend and the most amazing mom in the world. I knew I had time to kind of go and just do something I needed to finally do for myself. So I drove down to Scottsdale, Arizona, 10 weeks. To an amazing place called The Meadows. I did an intensive outpatient program for mental health. And not so much for my sobriety side of things, but to get to the root and the core. And I've struggled with self-esteem my entire life. So learning about that, learning about boundaries, that's a big word that I wasn't part of my vocabulary, and authenticity. And learning that AJ is a character in a band. It doesn't define me. It is a job. It's a job I love, but it's a job. And Alex got kind of stifled for 40 years. So Alex is here to stay, and AJ is also here to stay. You know?
It's amazing.
They can both coexist.
They can both
you know?
coexist. Can we talk a little bit about your sobriety, because you've been very candid about your sobriety journey. And interestingly, when I was doing our research for this, you stopped drinking the same time that I stopped drinking,
Nice.
which was 3 years this September, if I'm not
It
mistaken.
will be, yes, 3 years this
So
September.
congratulations, and you're
Thank you.
doing great. You're doing great. And it is definitely something to celebrate. And in fact, talking about a celebration of that, you've actually teamed up with a company that I'm a huge fan of for mocktails. It's called Atypique Mocktails. They're based out of Quebec. They're available everywhere. And you've got one heck of a party that you are going to be throwing tonight. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, it'll be our second sober party, sober dance party. Sober dance party, and hopefully not our last. I would love to continue doing them all throughout Canada, and eventually when Atypique finally hopefully hits the US as well. You know, to experience going out with your friends and being social and doing it sober. Look, at the end of the day, we're not saying don't drink. If you do drink, drink responsibly. But there is a alternative now. There is an option to, you know, there's this new sober curious community that's happening now, which is a really cool thing. I'm just hearing this phrase for the first time since I've been here, and I love it. So good for those that are sober curious, because it does come a point where the party, you know, it kind of gets old, right? So, but you don't want to have, I hate saying the FOMO, but, you know, and you want to still feel like you can be included and whatnot, but it doesn't even have to be at a club. It could be at a barbecue. It could be at home, just chilling, watching a movie, crack open one of these amazing mocktails. They taste incredible.
Incredible.
Low calories too, good for the figure.
That's right.
Good for the figure. And, you know, and yeah, so I mean, what an amazing partner I have with Etienne Boulay, who is a phenomenal
Former
human
CFLer?
being. Yep, phenomenal human being, sober as well. And that's how the whole thing started. We just connected when I was doing his radio show, promoting this TV show that I host called The Fashion Hero. And he had me try the mojito flavor, and I was like, dude, what is this? And that's how the whole thing started.
It's amazing.
And here we are.
What a great journey. Well, we know and love you, obviously, for what you do for a living, but we also know that the role that you're very proud of is being a dad. So how are your kids? Talk to us about your kids.
It is the best job. Ah, yes.
Aww.
That was our daddy-daughter dance. It was Taylor Swift themed. Everything is Taylor Swift in my house. I didn't really know, because it was all based on like different albums.
Adorable.
So both my daughters, they had a color scheme. Fortunately, it worked out that Daddy had a jacket that matched in my closet. But yeah, they are everything to me. They are my biggest inspiration, my biggest fans. And I might cry. Hold on. Hold on. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, they are everything to me.
That's lovely.
So.
That's lovely.
Oh, we love this. I love this.
We have a question from a super fan, Ashley. She's been a fan of yours.
I think we're going to start with Vanessa, actually.
Vanessa, sorry,
yeah. Is there a Vanessa? That's you, Vanessa?
No pressure.
Yes. You have a question for AJ.
I do. Throughout your career, is there an album or song that holds significance to you, and why?
Funny you ask. I was actually on iTunes last night going through albums for whatever reason. I don't know why. Probably one of my favorite albums would be Never Gone. Just because that was the biggest departure we decided to do as a group. Kind of more rock, not as much sequence drums. We wanted more live instruments. A song on that record that is one of my favorites, it's also one of Brian's favorites, is a song called Siberia. Should have been a single. The label kind of screwed the pooch on that one, but yeah, I mean, that just whole time period was just a really cool time for us as a group. Yeah.
Well, AJ, this has been a really cool time for us as a full group. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.